So I'm sitting here outside of a pizza place waiting for my pizza, and the perfect yap session just came along. In a million years, I made content that isn't exactly high effort content. You know, I turn a camera on, I tend to talk about whatever. So I completely understand. Some people may say, you know, this isn't content, but to me, being able to talk off the cuff is kind of a skill that you have to acquire in one way or another. It's not as easy as it looks for people who've never done it. But anyway, I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see somebody doing the exact same thing, but they're giving commentary and being able to compare and contrast those things. You have to be knowledgeable about certain generations of athletes. But in this case, this is where it gets crazy. They're not I'm sorry, because I couldn't believe this. All right, let me stop laughing for a second. They're not talking about athletes. They are talking about adult film actresses.
Different era. The rules are different. The grind is different. What athletes are being asked to do today, it's a completely different game. Let's break it down era by era. Era 1, the DVD and pay-per-view era. This was survival mode. You would have to wait for the whole house to go to sleep and sneak into the living room. You would slide the DVD in the PlayStation 2 and pray nobody woke up. There was no cell phone. There was no Wi-Fi. We would have to watch the game through static from channels that we didn't have. Some of y'all don't even know what channel Girls Gone Wild came on. And Snoop Dogg, he wasn't your favorite uncle. Don't look up what he was doing back then. Then we had the buffer era. This was the YouTube mixtape era. The game was more accessible, but it wasn't easy. You would have to go on the family desktop, click play.
And he's talking about, I can't stop laughing. And he's talking about the I'm not gonna be able to do this video. And he's talking about the certain difficulties that the viewer, the spectator, had to endure of trying to watch the movies.
It's so hard to compare these eras because think about it like this. Back in the day, you started your career in your early 20s. When you hit 28, you were moved to the MILF League. Now we have athletes hitting their 30s. They're just now getting into their prime. Marriage used to be a career-ending injury. Now we have players coming back from season-ending injuries quicker than ever. Longevity is at an all-time high, but discipline and structure, not so much. Rules of...
So, because algorithms are algorithms, I end up on, what would you call this, Gooner Talk? What the hell is this?
Mandy Muse is a phenomenal ball player, gang. Mandy Muse has been in the game for a while, a few years, and she's going and surpassing all the greats right now. The enthusiasm that she uses, we see the sound she makes when she's hooping. Mandy Muse is a phenomenal hooper. The way it just moves when she's dribbling,
I have always been, I just never thought that people would break down to that level where they're analyzing different players and their talents to the point that it actually sounds like true sports analysis. It's insane. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you whether or not you should be watching this stuff. I'm not your parents. I am not your uncle. I'm just purely from an entertainment standpoint, this is borderline hilarious. Just the fact that there's now an entire section of TikTok that is dedicated to analyzing breakdowns of film the way that I would analyze and break down the New York Giants playing against the Dallas Cowboys is, as the kids would say, absolutely diabolical. And for some reason, even though I think it's not exactly an activity you should be engaging in, I'm still here for it because it's hilarious. As a person who makes content whose main niche is food, food isn't necessarily something you would think, oh, you could make a job talking about that without going to culinary school or, you know, doing some sort of professional film critique. I don't do any of that stuff. I just talk about food. I've always also been a proponent of, if there's something that people love, that there should be content made about it. My main thing that I've always liked to watch content about is something that people are passionate about, something that people enjoy doing or watching, or a hobby. I just never in a million years thought that hobby would be breaking down talents.
But the league has seen thousands of players come and go, and during that time, a lot of real talent got overlooked. Today, we're going to be talking about the most underrated players from the golden era. The golden
era? These two are way too well versed in this stuff, and just hearing the golden era, like there's golden eras of Hollywood, so I guess there's whole golden eras of this. This is a complete nothing post that I'm making, but I just needed to inform people that this proves my exact point. No matter what there is, no matter what you're into, You will be able to find your tribe on the internet, and there will be people that share the same passions, likes, and loves as you, and there will be people that will debate and argue with you, because some of the comments in here, I don't know who they're talking about, but I'm going to show them. I'm glad you were finally giving some love to Capri Styles. Extremely underrated. I showed my college girlfriend Capri Styles and said, this is... I'm not putting that in there. All this talk and no honorary mention of Havana Ginger. Vanessa Blue and Kitten were a top duo. Y'all have way too much time on y'all hands. Listen, y'all need to pick up a PlayStation, bro. Y'all need to pick up a PlayStation. Y'all get a... This is crazy. I don't know what type of legendary collections of videos or streaming stashes that you have, but this dude is about to make a living talking about this stuff like he's Stephen A. Smith, but in the spicy industry, and that is absolutely insane. I didn't realize just how dedicated some people were to the craft, and I'm not here to judge you. Do I think there's more constructive things people can be doing with their time? Possibly. Do I think that he somehow is going to make a living off of his legendary wrist dexterity? Yeah, I guess so. But I just wanted to talk about that because I'm in the parking lot. Again, it's raining, and I'm entertained, but also kind of shocked and appalled at the same time. So it's future me, and if you see me doing this, that means I have to put disclaimers in this video because I realize, and I hope most people realize, that the subject matter of that video, I was clearly making just jokes because I couldn't believe what the heck I was watching with my own two eyes. I'm not condoning that type of activity as far as people watching that type of stuff, but I do still stand on this. I'm not your dad. I'm not here to talk about the morality of whether or not you choose to watch it. The whole thing that had me up in arms and laughing about it more had to do with the fact that there's actually content based around this. It just went to show me, because I just believe this. You can make content about anything if you're passionate about something. And it even got to the point where they ended that level of society, and them boys got on there, and they were... The alarming thing about it, not alarming, but the funny thing about it to me was how eloquent and intelligent they were talking about it. It didn't sound uneducated. Like, they were highly educated on the topics. And I'm like, these guys know this the way that I would talk about an athlete. So I already know most of you get that I was just saying this stuff like, ha ha ha, I can't believe that it got this far. But I know there's still small pockets of people that are going to be like, what are you making content about that for? How do you condone this? I never said that. Again, this was just a crap post. I'm paraphrasing that because I'm trying not to curse anymore. But it was just a crap post because I just want to post about things I see that I find funny or not funny or whatever it is. And this was funny, but like I said, I was also shocked and appalled at the same time. So if you're one of those dudes that partake in that type of stuff, I hope that you find more constructive things to do with your time, but I'm not here to be your morality police. As long as you are not being... I'm not getting into that. You get the idea, man. Just, that's all.